As you may know, a few years ago AI got exponentially popular and many have turned to it for both personal and commercial use. Back when I first discovered it, I was oblivious to all the reasons it was, let's just say, a bad thing. So seeing an easy way to do certain things for free obviously made me curious. But before that, a bit of a backstory is necessary here. I've wanted to become an author for the longest time. I wrote my first book when I was 17. Since then, I've rewritten that story countless times, and I still don't know when I'll get back to fixing that mess. It's a great idea, but Jesus, it needs so much reworking. The teen cringe is so strong. Anyway, over the past decade, I've been researching the publishing industry, learning as much as I could on my own, and developing my writing skills to finally become a full-fledged author. All that to always walk into the same wall of problems over and over again. To publish a book, you either need a publishing house to help you get it out into the world, or you end up going the self-publishing route. With time, I realized that the first option just isn't for me. Nowadays, publishing houses don't do much to promote their authors, especially when it comes to newbies in the field, and the payment with this route isn't realistically sustainable for someone who wants to survive on writing alone. There's also the issue of time and freedom when it comes to traditional publishing, especially when you want to write about queer characters. It's also overall hard to get into the industry in the first place when you have no background, no connections, no anything to take that initial step into the world of publishing. And being the neurospicy slime that I am, networking has always been a nightmare for me. The second option, however, is hard when you're broke. Now, to self-publish a novel, it takes quite a bit of money, from editing to formatting to covers to promotion. It's a lot to handle on your own. I had some money set aside to hire an editor, which I did, and it was a whole separate mess I won't cover in this video. Do let me know if this would be a story you'd like to hear about. The covers though? Yeah, that's a complicated one. Apparently covers not only cost a lot, but they're not like the you buy it, you own it type of deal. You own commercial rights for a specific time and will need to either change the cover once that license runs out, or you come back to the artist and pay for another license. Which, as an artist myself, I find this infuriating. I'm sorry, but I am so sick and tired of the whole subscription and limited time payment scheme. It's stupid and I hate it. Makes me feel like we're approaching a dystopian age of paying for breathing in air that isn't even all that clean to begin with. So when I discovered AI, I was like, oh my god, I can just make my own covers and even character art with this for free. And I did try it. On a side note, it's not free. Commercial use, you still have to pay for it. Anyway, at first, I was really into it. It was like a fun game of write a prompt and get some art. But you know what? Once the novelty of it wore off, I soon ended up hating it. I hated the process, I hated the results, and it just wasn't right, nor what I wanted. It was frustrating, repetitive, none of it seemed okay, and everything was so soulless to the point where I was starting to feel empty from simply using it. While I currently am aware of all the reasons to stay as far away from AI as I possibly can, like the fact that generative AI operates on stolen artwork, which is my biggest gripe with it right now, back then my only reason to give up on it was, this is garbage. It'll be easier to just learn and draw everything myself. And that's literally what I ended up doing. When I started, I was still suffering in university, so there was a little to no progress on that front. Then I got severely depressed, and my overall mental and physical health went downhill at an alarming rate. So the first couple years of learning were basically non-existent. But about a year ago, I started taking things more seriously. The progress picked up in speed and quality, and I am currently finishing up the cover for my queer vampire novel, which is the second book I finished, but the first I'll actually get out into the world. The speed paint you're watching right now is the work in progress for this cover. I'm still learning, still improving, and have a long way to go. But at this point, I am confident enough in my skills to make art I am happy with. And this art is deliberate, conscious, something I'm proud of. It's filled with so many decisions and mistakes and learning curves. Every stroke has a reason, every shape its meaning, and I call all the shots. I decide on the composition, poses, colors. And while it might not look like there's a story behind every line in the art to others, I know it's there. I know that this has meaning. I know how long it took me to create something from scratch, and I know how much effort I put into it, which is a whole other reason to be proud and why it's so rewarding. I am proud that I didn't become a soulless AI bro. I am proud that I got into art and am learning it all by myself. I am proud that in just a year of dedicated practice, I am happy enough with my skill that I can make my own book covers. Art has given me purpose, and I love that I made the decision to get into it. If you've been thinking about learning to draw but haven't started yet, use this video as a sign to just do it. And if you would like to know how I accelerated my learning speed without any daily practice, you might be interested in this video over here. I hope the story motivated or inspired you to potentially discover a new passion. Every week, I make a poll where you can pick the next video topic. It's linked in the description, so make sure to vote. Have a lovely day. Love you. Bye.